Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. 6-year-old Aaron Wilson had begged his parents for a dog for 2 years before they finally took him to the animal shelter for his birthday. Little did they know that afternoon and an encounter with an abused pup would change their lives forever. Here to share the story of Galaxy, the healing powers of a rescue dog, we welcome owner Jen Wilson. Hi, Jen.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. This is such a beautiful book and such an inspiring story. I'd love to hear the story of how Galaxy came into your family's life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was basically for years our son Aaron had been begging for a dog. Many family debates, and we finally relented. And we were walking through the shelter, and we'd already found another dog that we were planning on bringing home instead. But as my husband was going to one of the staff members to pull the dog out of its enclosure, I happened to walk by this other one, this big blocky tank of a pit bull who was just laying with the chopped off ears and everything. And she was just laying quietly at the front of the enclosure. All the other dogs were jumping up and barking and wanting attention. And she was just quiet, just hoping someone would notice her. And we ended up getting her out instead, and she was just the sweetest, cuddliest little thing. Well, big thing, but yeah, that it was basically love at first sight. We saw her and realized that was going to be the dog for us.
Well, and unfortunately, she had started off with a really difficult start to life. Tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about her background.
Well, we actually didn't know her background when we brought her home. It wasn't until we got her to the vet. And even that was an ordeal because she was terrified of the white lab coat that the vets wore. So the one doctor who was great, he took off the lab coat and we were able to work with her to do x-rays and a real physical exam. And that's when we kind of learned that, both her back legs had been broken and left, they weren't set properly. It was just left to heal on its own. She'd been stabbed twice that we know of. Her trachea had been collapsed, and her ears were chopped off, not by a vet under anesthesia, but with scissors. And the vet was the one who told us it's unfortunately relatively common in those breeds and in that environment that she was brought up in. And you can always tell because the first ear looks okay. The second ear, the puppy is squirming and obviously in a lot of pain. So it's always very crooked and jagged, and her ears are very uneven. She's our wonky-eared princess.
But you love her just the same, and you went on to use her
Absolutely.
abuse and her pain from the past to then help others. Tell us about some of the healing that she has done for others.
Yeah, honestly, that was her more than me. One of the big things in getting her over her fear and her issues was doing a lot of very in-depth training. And we had gotten her training for the CDC, I'm sorry, not the CDC, the AKC Canine Good Citizenship Program, which requires, training and testing. And we went through that, and it was such a wonderful experience that once we got the certification, I wanted to continue training, to continue that relationship and then dynamic that we had started. So she was the one that actually, I was thinking, like, where are we going to go from here? And I had her out with me at the store, and there was a woman who came up to us and said, oh, your dog is so beautiful, so well behaved. And I was like, oh, thank you. Would you like to pet her? She loves people. And the woman said, no, I'm too scared, but I just had to tell you that I thought she was beautiful. And twice she came up again to tell me. And then when we were standing in line at the cashier, she came up again, and this time she finally revealed the reason for her fear. She pulled her hair back and my jaw dropped. Her ear was mauled, covered in so much scar tissue, almost unrecognizable. And that's when she admitted that she had been mauled by a pit bull when she was very young.
Oh, that's
And
horrible.
I was devastated. I was so heartbroken for this poor woman. Um, but Galaxy the entire time was very calm. very quiet. And finally, the woman reached out a hand to touch her.
Oh,
And just this connection that I saw between Galaxy and this woman.
yeah.
I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to handle it. Like, my heart was breaking for this woman who had gone through like such a terrible ordeal.
Well,
But
there's so many beautiful
Galaxy,
stories. I hate to cut you off, but there's so
yeah.
many beautiful
Oh,
stories of
no.
hospice and working with veterans and so many things. It's all in the book. I hope people
Yeah.
will check it out. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Jen's book again is Galaxy, The Healing Powers of a Rescue Dog, and we'll have more information on our website at KATU.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.